Are you edgy? Am I edgy? Am I just a loser teenager who just discovered philosophy? Or are the vast majority of people low-key kinda horrible and low-key kind of evil? I will argue that most people kind of do really suck. Hey, my name is Nico and I am uploading a video to YouTube every single day so I get better at speaking to the camera and I get better at persuading. This video, I feel like it's going to be pretty easy for me to speak because a very significant event in my life happened. At least I think it will be very significant because at least in the moment I felt a lot of emotions that I feel like I really haven't felt before to that extent. So right now I am in Amsterdam and I'm going to be here for a month and I'm walking around. I always go on walks after dinner and I walked across the same path. And another thing that I do every day is I try to speak to a stranger every day, or I try to say, have a great day to 10 people every day. And yesterday I was saying, have a great day to people just walking past. And because this is like something I'm doing for my own social anxiety. I try to get better at it. So, the first day I was kind of shy. I was like, have a great day. No one really heard me. No one really talked back. But now I'm like more full of energy. When people are far, I go and like, I point at them and be like, hey, you over there, you gentlemen, you guys, have a great day. Or, or I try to do something different like, hey guys, I just wanted to let you know that I wish you guys a phenomenal day. Keep it up. Or I compliment people or stuff like that. But yesterday, for whatever reason, I was feeling emotional. But of course, I had to do my 10 have a great days. So I said it in a really loud way, in a really good way. I really seemed friendly and it probably made a lot of people's days, made a lot of people smile. I was going like, hey guys, have a great day. It looks better. I can't do it right now just talking to the camera. But I was already feeling a little bit of resentment towards people when I was doing that because I was in an emotional state. I was like, people just don't get, I was just confirming my own beliefs that people don't care about anyone when I was getting rejected especially, but in general most people were treating me nice. And how does this relate to what I was to why people suck? I'm not there yet. This is just what led me to have my sort of emotional spike later in the day. And it happened later in the day when I was in my usual walks after dinner. In my usual walk after dinner, I walked past a decent amount of homeless people, and I always hear this guy playing an instrument, singing, and he speaks Spanish like me. And I would want to give something if I had cash, but in my mind, I just walk straight past. Just I feel a little bit of pity, and I know I don't have cash. But that day, I was just feeling horrible, like I hated everyone, and I wanted to feel better about myself. By the way, I'm a bad person too, and you are too. So I'm not gonna defend myself or anyone else. Everyone freaking sucks. So I was kind of resentful at humanity and wanted to feel like a better human being than everyone else. And I was like, you know what? Like I don't have cash, but that guy suffers every day on the street, literally singing. I don't know. He could be a drug addict. Maybe he deserves it. I don't know. But I can go to an ATM. Like everyone, and I think everyone around here can go to an ATM and get €1, €2, €5. Most people could probably give 100 or more euros without feeling anything. I think a bare minimum half the people there can give thousands of euros and not feel anything. But of course, you might think it's kind of risky. They're probably going to spend it on drugs. You know what? You are totally 100% right. The thing is that even though that might be true, that's not what the primary reason as to why you're not giving them money. It's just you don't care enough and you're self-absorbed. And so am I, man. That's what I've been doing this past 21 years of my life. But whatever, it turns out my wife, she was walking next to me, actually had 10 euros in cash. Like, I don't know, is that $13 or something? $14? So we just gave it to him, and he spoke Spanish, so I spoke to him, and I learned his story. And I felt horrible for him specifically. Probably because I was emotional and resentful towards the world for not helping people like him, and because I wanted to feel better. But and this time I felt just pure empathy. So he's being denied asylum in the Netherlands. What does that mean? Is that he's not going to be legally able to stay here. And when someone claims asylum is because They need a safe place to stay because where they're from isn't safe enough. Colombia isn't safe enough. He told me he has video and text and image proof that he's being threatened for his life back in Colombia. And I don't know, apparently it's really hard to get asylum to stay legally in the Netherlands. He's just there, he can't do anything, he doesn't speak the language. I don't know, maybe some of you guys are, oh, he should just get a job and start learning the language. I don't know, maybe it's harder for him. And maybe you're right, but let's not even go into it yet. For whatever reason he can't, why assume the absolute worst? So, and then I just kept talking to him. He sang me a song because that's what he was doing. He was singing, and my heart was warming. And he asked me for my name. My name is Nicholas. And I saw his eyes. I saw his heart. I saw his body language. I saw him feel like, I don't know how you describe it. A little bit like, mm, mm. He said, "That's my little boy's name. My son's name." Of course, that gets to me. He's just like my dad could have been him, and given the right circumstances. And I just spoke to him for a while. I was like, what can I do? Like, what can I do right now? The thought of giving him more money came to mind, but I was like, I'm kind of lazy. The thought of, you know what? I'm like doing this thing to let go of my social anxiety, and so why not just ask people coming for money? He can't ask. He doesn't even speak English, and most Dutch people and tourists speak English. So I just as people went past us, I was asking them for money and cash. No one had cash, of course. But even if you don't have cash, what are you doing that's more important than this guy's ability to eat, or maybe eventually get a freaking course to speak so he speaks English or Dutch? There was this one couple walking past, and I asked, "Hey guys, my friend right here, he's being threatened for his life back in his home country, Colombia. Do you have any money? Do you have any cash?" And go like, "I," and then he was like, "No, sorry." Like he probably just dismissed it, like because people asking for money, it triggers defensiveness. Like we can't do anything about it, and I think that's low key evil. That's defensiveness is a natural part of humans, and I think makes us evil because it's natural. Just because it is natural and human doesn't make it good. People say when people use the phrase "you're dehumanizing us," that's assuming humanizing and humans are good. But I don't think so. Just because something is normal and inherently human doesn't mean it's good. Defensiveness and pride and motivated reasoning, cognitive dissonance, and confirmation bias, it's all human. And humans use it all the time, everywhere, all the time. I just said that. They could, and it is their moral responsibility to be as moral as possible. And here's where I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me. I think it is their duty, their responsibility to go to an ATM and find a way to help this guy in some way. Unless, not everyone, but most people. Like, most people are just freaking off. They're just hanging out with friends. You could probably have so much fun just trying to help someone out, first of all. And I don't know, they're going to go drink, they're going to go eat at a restaurant, be 10 minutes late, be 20 minutes late. Don't go that day. I don't know. If you have a fair argument against me, I'll happily take my pride down and admit that I am wrong. But I have a lot of conviction in this. I was just heartbroken, and people can do it. Like I said earlier, all of those people could probably give thousands of dollars, and it won't matter to them that much. Of course, some people have less money than others. I could give thousands of dollars, and I didn't. I am horrible. And I know that your argument, like, you're gonna be like, oh, but there's so many people like him, and that, oh my gosh, bro just learned about poverty. I lived in Ecuador for my childhood. I saw poverty firsthand. Like I said, it's mostly an accumulation of everything that's happened in my life and how my life is right now, and that very specific day, me having a bad day, and me just happening to be trying to get better at my social skills, and I felt a little bit of resentment towards humanity, and this resentment has been building up forever. I also saw this video earlier today where there's this guy who said, oh, I'm so painfully conscious while everyone just goes out and drinks and has parties with their friends. And then this guy replied to him saying that he's a cornball and he's just like a teenager that just discovered philosophy. And I was like, he's just expressing how he feels, to be honest. Like everyone, we should validate his experience, maybe in a nice way. All that guy did, criticizing him, maybe he's in the right. Maybe he should change. Maybe I should change. But the truth is, when people criticize and do stuff like that and say you should change, it's really, they don't care about you changing. They care about showing how much better they are. They care about asserting dominance. It's a pride and ego game. That's what it is. That's really what it is. So later that night, I went back. I got 20 more euros from the ATM. I'm not better. I could have given him more. I'm not rich, by the way, at all, at all, at all, at all. And I talked to him a little more, and I just went up to this one guy. Let me just go up to him and pressure him. There's probably a little bit of confirmation bias. I sort of spoke what I predicted into existence, but I'm like, that guy's not gonna give money. He's not gonna have cash. He's not gonna go to an ATM. He's gonna be defensive. I'm gonna trigger his defensiveness. I went up to him, and to be completely honest, I could have been more persuasive. I could have been kinder. I could have been more understanding. But I wasn't that rude, to be honest. I did go with passion, and I went up to him and be like, hey, my friend over there really needs some cash, and I explained his backstory real quick. I'm like, do you happen to have any cash? And he was like, nah. And of course, to him, that was the end of it. He just by saying no cash, he felt like he was gonna get away. But I asked him, what would it take for you to go to an ATM and get him some cash? He was like, oh, I gotta go to a party, man. That low-key made my blood boil. It's fine, he's just a little normie. Like I've been a normie, I've been a loser. I'm speaking with a little bit of hate. To be fair, I don't believe in free will. Not. I don't think he could have given him money. It's just not within his programming at that moment in that very specific circumstance to give him money. And I'll be kinder to him, and I should try to find his humanity and his goodness, and it would be beneficial for me to be more empathetic to everyone, to normal people. He said I had to go to a party, and I was like, I asked this question, which triggered so much defensiveness, but I felt so righteous in the moment, which I guess I kind of was righteous, but like not to him. I was self-righteous. I asked him, is you going to your party more important than him being able to eat tonight? And he was like, I'm sorry, so sorry for being annoying, but this is the reality. Like, I hope you forgive me, but I'm just heartbroken today. And of course, he just laughed it off, and I kept pushing him, and like I'm legitimately so sorry for being annoying, but I'm so serious. And he just yeah, like he signaled that I was being annoying. It's like, and he just left on his bike. He stopped talking to me. Makes sense. But the thing is, like, everyone is like that. Like, you probably prioritize going to your party, you're worrying in your own bullshit, with your own most likely bullshit problem. Some of you have stuff that it would make sense, but the majority of you are good enough to be able to care more about others. And who knows, maybe this is just my Christian slave morality mentality about helping others, and we should just achieve a lot of things and be strong human beings on ourselves, and it's that guy's responsibility to rise up. That's a fair conversation, honestly. I don't necessarily agree with it at this very circumstance, though. But that's the end of my video. Everyone sucks. Like, everyone walking across the street wouldn't give him money. If you see a homeless person, like, maybe if they look like a drug addict, don't give him money. But if you know for a fact, or if you can give them €5. Worst case scenario, they're gonna use it on alcohol, but the chance that they don't is higher than is worth it. The risk that is worth it. All right, everyone sucks, including me and you. God bless you. If you believe in love or all things happen for a reason or anything like that, then you already believe in God, because God is those things. But I'm just a human being. Who am I to know?